Shalom, shalom, my dear friends. Come close, children, parents, grandparents, and anyone who enjoys a story that glitters like a menorah flame, because tonight I have a tale that comes straight from the treasures of our sages. Tell me, have you ever wondered how the Maccabees found that one little jug of oil? Yes, we know the story. They entered the Beit Hamikdash, they cleaned the mess the Greeks left behind, and miracle of miracles, they found one small flask sealed with the stamp of the Kohen Gadol. But wait a minute. The Greeks spent months defiling everything. How could one little jug be left untouched? To understand that, you must hear the Midrash of the hidden light. In Midrash Maaseh Hanukkah, the great rabbis teach us that when the Greek soldiers stormed the temple, they did not just break the menorah and scatter the vessels, they hunted for every drop of pure olive oil. Why? Because they knew something the world would forget for centuries. Oil is not just oil. Oil is a keeper of light, and light is the keeper of hope. And if you can crush a people's hope, their light goes out long before their lamps do. So the Greeks tore through the temple, smashing jars, ripping open flasks, shouting, "Let them try to light, let them see darkness instead." Except there was one jar they did not find. Why? Because of a miracle that began long before the Maccabees ever entered the temple. The Midrash tells that during the last days of the temple's desecration, a certain man, some say he was a simple Cohen, others say he was Elijah the prophet in disguise, walked quietly through the ruins. He held in his hands a tiny flask of pure oil. Stopping beside a ruined altar, he whispered, "This light is not for now. It is for those who will fight for the light." And with that, he began to search for a hiding place. He looked beneath shattered stones. No. Behind the destroyed altars? No. Inside broken vessels? No. Where could it go? Where would it remain untouched? Then he looked upward. There, carved into the wall of the temple, was a small niche, a narrow space where only the priests ever placed ritual objects of holiness and purity. The Greeks, not knowing its purpose, had left it alone. He climbed up the stones, placed the flask in the niche, and whispered, "When faith seems lost, when hope is dim, let this light be found by those who remember who they are." Now, fast forward, the Maccabees arrive. The battle is over. The Greeks are driven out. The temple stands quiet, wounded, but not defeated. Judah Maccabee looks around and sighs. "Brothers," he says, "we must light the menorah again. But where will we find pure oil?" They search everywhere. One room after another, one corner after another, every crumbled shelf, every overturned jar. And do you know what they found? Nothing but broken shards and oily stains. Some of the younger fighters grew discouraged. "Judah," they said, "why keep looking? There's nothing left." But Judah, whose heart carried a flame brighter than the sun, answered, "As long as we search, the light is still alive." So they searched and searched until one young Cohen named Eleazar paused by the wall. He saw something, just a tiny crack, a sliver of clay that looked a little too smooth, a little too recent. He picked at it. a piece fell away, then another, and then glint, glass, a sealed flask, pure, untouched, waiting. Eleazar cried out, "Judah, come quickly!" They pulled the jar from the niche, and there on the wax seal was the unbroken stamp of the Kohen Gadol. Judah held the flask and whispered, "Hashem has not left us." The light was hiding, just as hope sometimes hides in the darkest moments. Ah, but wait! The Midrash doesn't end there. The people saw the flask, opened it, smelled the untouched olive oil, and felt hope rush back into their veins. They lit the menorah. One night's worth of oil burned brilliantly. Then a second night, then a third, until 8 nights had passed, each one shining like the first. But the great rabbis teach us that the miracle did not only happen because Hashem made the oil last, it lasted 8 days because the people believed it would. Hope fed the flame. Courage fed the flame. Faith fed the flame. The oil was the spark, but the people were the light. So what do we learn, my dear listeners? We learn that 1. Every soul has a hidden light, even if others don't see it. Even if it feels hidden behind cracks and dust, it is there, waiting to shine. 2. When the world feels dark, keep searching, just like Judah and the Maccabees. As long as we search, the light is still alive. 3. Miracles often begin long before we notice them. A flask hidden years earlier became the hope of a nation. 4. Light grows when shared. A single little jar brought light to an entire people for 8 miraculous nights. Now, dear friends, let me ask you something, and think about it carefully. If you had a little flask of light inside you, a hidden strength, a hidden kindness, a hidden courage, where would you hide it? And who would you share it with when the world grows dark? Because each of us has a bit of that ancient oil inside. Each of us carries a flame that no conqueror can extinguish. And when you light your menorah this Hanukkah, remember, you are the keeper of the hidden light. Light it proudly. Let it shine for all to see. Shalom, and may your Hanukkah be filled with miracles, both the ones you see and the ones quietly waiting to be discovered.